Hello, and welcome to the episode of Todd Talks. When Todd talks, people listen. Yada yada. Hopefully. And today, we're talking about the third episode of Death Battle Season 9. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, 3 is a magical number. That's why it's my lucky number, because I finally won. Yes, because Jonathan Joestar did indeed fight Tanjiro, and he killed him. Finally. I have won. So, I am now 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And I can live with that. So, I'm already calling it, this is my favorite death battle of the season so far, and not because I won. I mean, I liked the other ones, but I did feel there was something holding them back. This time, though, was a lot of fun, and I was, like Boomstick, I was crying at the end of the episode, as I'll get to. But, I want to note something. I was at a Comic-Con this past week, and I had a great show, by the way. And I didn't get a chance to look at the G1 blog, which, of course, if you recall, they said Scarlet Witch would beat Zatanna, and they were wrong. So I was very curious to see what they would say about Jonathan Joestar versus Tanjiro. And so I looked it up after the battle, and they all picked Jonathan, every single one of them. And I'm like, why couldn't you have been this accurate last week? So last time. Oh well. But on to the battle. I'm not joking. This was my favorite episode of the season so far. And mainly because of the battle. I mean, don't get me wrong, the breakdowns are fine, and they had a lot of fun, like talking about the breathing techniques and the line of Joestars and the Demon Slayer abilities without spoiling things. They promised in the Death Battle cast they wouldn't spoil too much. And even though it's very predictable what the ending of Demon Slayer would be. The one thing I did like though is that if you recall my prediction video, as well as others that have happened, they've noted that, and I actually call this out specifically, apparently they are elemental effects. With the breathing magic, with the katana magic, everyone kept telling me, "Oh no, it's not. It's not breathing. It's actual sword cutting and yada yada yada." But no, it actually is elemental, apparently. Like, that's what the tab at the thing said. So, who knew? Again, I not watched Demon Slayer, so I honestly don't know. But that was pretty cool. And then just hearing about these characters, because again, I don't know Tanjiro or Jonathan Joestar. I've not watched either series, so it was interesting, hearing more about them beyond what I learned in my research. That was a lot of fun. And then just going into the battle was a lot. Okay, I gotta talk about this battle. This was so good. Luis, you and your team were so incredible. You promised a lot here, and you absolutely delivered. The thing that really set me to thinking this is the best death battle we've seen of this season was their use of details. And by details, I mean the breathing. They made sure that between Jonathan Joestar and Tanjiro, we felt the breathing every single time, from him using, just using it to summon his techniques, to using it to, heighten his senses, to, see through the world. I want to rule the world! Shut up, Dio. To Jonathan slowly putting together, oh, I know what he's doing. He's going for my neck, he's going for my lungs. And anytime Tanjiro doing the same thing. I loved the see-through shot with the 2 inches. He's like, 2 inches off. Did he dodge? Like, that, they could have just said that. They could have just had, Tanjiro go, like, side pose. Wait, I was 2 inches off. Did he dodge? But no, they showed it. And that was so cool. And then that led to the big, Jonathan using his overdrive to win. But you could feel the breathing, and in theory, it shouldn't have mattered that much, but it did, because it made it feel more impactful. Because again, these are fighters who rely on their breathing for their best techniques, and I was so happy that they showed that in a way that even to a casual fan like me felt really cool. And then, of course, using Tanjiro's water and sun breathing techniques was really awesome as well. And Jojo, of course, using his various overdrives and Hamons to get the victory was just so well done. And then there was the ending. I did cry. I did cry because let's be honest here. In the beginning, in the early origins of Death Battle, we didn't really care You know, we didn't really care about the character interactions. This was all about the fights. Like, look, think back with seasons 1 and 2. You know, they barely, if ever, interacted with each other beyond, you know, the rabble that they sometimes had. Like, think of Wily Eggman. You know, they were doing banter because they're evil villains. That's what they do. Goku Superman was one of the ones that really had the interaction. The rest were just fights, and that was fine. But with this, we actually got to see like their personalities shine through in a way that gave the most heart-wrenching ending in Death Battle history. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with that. Like heart-wrenching, not sad that you know your character lost, because we've all had that. But no, like Jonathan hearing, you know, she's my sister and crying. It's like, on my honor as a gentleman, I shall defend her. You know, and then Tanjiro's hand falling, and then Nekizu, you know, that they get a hand reaching, and then she pulls away like right at the last second, probably teasing when she comes into Death Battle, because y'all know she's coming into Death Battle. It's just, she's too popular not to. Like, dear gosh, you know, help me, bro, as Boomstick would say. That was just like, I didn't expect that, and it makes sense though. You know, it's kind of like a Might Guy All Might situation where, you know, even after all of that, all the fighting, all the, you know, the sacrificing everything to die, he's like, you know, good fight, man. Can we do it again? It's like that's their character shining through, and we saw that here because Jonathan was like, I'm doing this because clearly she's a monster of Dio. No, you just killed this girl's brother. Like, oh, my gentlemanly heart breaks. You know, that's really cool. It was a really good episode. I really did like it. So yeah, I got a victory finally, and we will have to see if it continues, because next time on Death Battle we are continuing with the Rolodex. If you recall, we only got a few more. So yeah, we got this time Thor versus Vegeta, the Princes of Power. Get it? Princes of Power. And this one's going to be interesting because Vegeta's got new abilities because of Ultra Ego, and of course the scaling of the Super Saiyan God forms, which will definitely come into, not question, but practice, because we have a definitive nature of the scaling due to Hulk versus Broly, which I highly recommend you rewatch to see the scaling, because even I don't know if that's enough to take down Thor. We'll see. And of course Thor has, you know, gotten upgrades over the years as well, and now he's the All-Father. So, and the Son of the Phoenix, apparently. It's complicated. So, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm pretty sure this will be a 2D fight. I hope if they use 3D, they better not use the models from last time. Remember the DBX that they did? I hated that one. That was just, I'm sorry, it was not a good fight. The models were weird. So hopefully whether 2D or 3D, they use the best models. I would prefer a 3D fight because I think Vegeta deserves it. So, with that, I'm in this episode of Todd Talk. What did you think of Tanjiro versus Jonathan Joestar? Did you like the battle? Did you cry 80s manly tears, manime tears at the end of it? Who would you like Nekizu to fight in Death Battle if she ever comes back? When she comes back? And of course, who you got for Thor versus Vegeta? Let me know in the comments below. So, I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening, and I'll see you around.